of choice. So this will be quick. The thing with Peter Terry is his booty isn't cash or social security numbers or flat screen TVs. What he's after is your mind and your soul if he can get it. But in this game, your soul is just the bonus round. His eye is on your serenity, your peace, your sense of safety in the world. If he can lift those precious little items off you and toss them onto his pile, he's pulled off a score unlike anything you've ever read about over a morning cup of coffee or seen in a $10 movie. She's in intensive care visiting a friend while this is happening. Naturally, intensive care is Peter Terry territory. You sit there staring at your loved one in the company of strangers who are also staring at their loved ones, and you're surrounded by the architecture of suffering. Monitors, pumps, bags, needles, tubes, and you can feel the skin being ripped off your illusions. Flesh covers veins, and veins web through organs and muscles and bones, and they're all stuck together with the fragile electric sinews of sensation of movement. It's the perfect disguise, this farce of wholeness. And the parts, they all break so easily. When you're sitting there staring at your loved one, the one with the broken parts, you can't believe any of it ever works at all. And then as you pace between beeps and alarms and rhythmic whishes of air, you hear the whispering and the murmuring. And you peek around curtains where rosaries are fingered with confident intention, where heads are bowed, where hearts are turned upward because it's the only possible option. And the atmosphere of hope in the place is overpowering. And then you realize hope is all there is. There's nothing else to live on. The rest is just parts in a jump start. So now I'm going to turn it over to Trish, and she's going to visit with y'all for a second.
I know Melanie really well now because we've known each other for so long, and because we have such similar life experiences that really, I think, turned us both into writers before we ever knew that that's what we were going to do. It's kind of great to have that sort of a shared creative understanding with someone else. It makes the whole experience of writing a lot less lonely. As a songwriter, and I'm really privileged to be here because I realize that I'm kind of fitting myself in to the cracks here because this is really about books and about reading, but obviously it's also about listening. And it's made me appreciate the fact that as a songwriter and a storyteller in song, I've always thought there's no way I could ever write a book. I'm just a big fat chicken. That's just way too much work for me. But I think one of the things I've come to realize over the course of the weekend is that songwriting is not all that different. It's like writing very, very concise chapters where you've got to tell your story in as few words as possible, and then you've got to make it fit into the matrix of music somehow. How I do that, I don't know. I wouldn't advise you try it as a career.
She hates it.
I really do. There are days when I really hate what I do, but it's like going to the gym. I feel so great when I'm done. So I want to sing just a quick little bit of a song that is also about character. And again, this is all pretty unpremeditated. This is a song that I wrote probably 10 years ago when I was writing, of all things, a pop record that was later released on a major label subsidiary of Mercury Records. And this song really never even got any airplay because it's so morbid, but I think understanding the sort of Southern Gothicism that's in the air this weekend, the song will make sense to you. It's based on a true story about my uncle who survived the Vietnam War, and it's called Johnny Too Blue. Johnny used to babysit, he was the misfit, mama's little brother in his military outfit, turning all the lights out, smoking on the floor. We'd sit and listen to him, listen to the Doors. My little brother must have been about 2, he'd say, Johnny, you're the meaner man I never knew. Johnny dropped bombs on Vietnam, couldn't really look back, never really came back. Son, don't you quit, get a handle on it. Boy, settle down, they know you too well in this town. Got himself a wife, got himself a daughter, she must be grown now, we never even saw her. Ooh, Johnny Too Blue. So that's the first part of the song.